don't think a lot changes in the sideboard. Could see maybe wanting the 4th Force of Vigor with Titan being so popular. It's probably okay. Could also maybe be in on the Assassin's Trophy playing against them. But again, this deck was really sick. It was also very good against, like, it was very good against Rhinos, I feel, and 4-color, and I think it was, I think I like the Yawgmoth matchup. I'm not sure. Like, Asmo decks are always kind of weird against Yawg, but I feel like you could race them a lot of the time. We're just thinking about like what the new metagame looks like. I'm pretty excited about this. It had a tough scam matchup. Like, and honestly, like in a lot of ways, more so Fury was like the problem than Grief. Fury just clean up your stuff so well. You play the red-green version or the mono-green version. I mean, none of the decks are truly monocolor. So I liked this build more than the Inti build we did have. So we played this build previously with. We played Inti. I think it was like Inti over the Manufactors and the Tooks, and then the curve was also like a little bit lower. And I just kind of missed like the combo turns. I thought Took and Manufactor were better than Inti and these shells, despite being one more mana. I was also not playing. I was playing Street Wraith. I think it was like Street Wraith Inti over Manufactor. Then we were playing Green Red. But he won a 35-person RCQ this deck about a month ago. Yeah, this deck I think was pretty strong. Played a couple leagues with it. Beans was unwinnable. Yeah, well, yeah, I agree. So like I think the so we were playing this deck before the Bean deck was built or was big, built, whatever. The 4-color Omnath decks before Bean were like almost a buy. With Bean, they were like almost unwinnable, especially because they had like so many more Force of Vigors were played in the decks at the time. So I feel like you're going to see things go back to like that matchup being like one of your best matchups versus like with Beanstalk, it's like one of your worst. It's just so funny how good that card was. Let me get the Moxfield and stuff up to date. On the draw against a Scalding Tarn. Yawgmoth having Might and Cauldron makes it hard in this deck. Yeah, I believe that. I feel like play draw matters a lot in that matchup. The unfortunate mismatched Geese here. What enchantment could that be? 4 dogs. I always kind of love when my Goose gets bolted. Just like you're getting like a 1.5 for 1. Probably gonna go for mini partings over the cookbook. Don't really want my cookbook to get countered here if I can help it. Gilded Goose, cost a card, and a goose. True. Too true. Blue Black, Surveil and Pioneer, since they had cards like Consider as content, they're Surveil. I mean, are there any Surveil payoffs that are good? None really come to mind. Like, there's like the 3-1 that comes back. I think we talked about like this idea back when they made that change, but I don't remember feeling like we figured out a good plan. Maybe we'll go Cottage Sweet's Revenge next turn into Took maybe if they tap low. Seems pretty nice. I'm just gonna pass here. Good chance this is like an expressive iteration turn. It's a bit awkward that like I want to Took after I fetch for my cabin, but I also would rather them counter Asmo than Took. So I think I'm gonna bait a counter spell here, and obviously if they just have nothing, then we can be happy. So that worked. And they've already used one bolt. They don't have Delirium for heat, so they have to have another bolt to kill my Took, but I get to draw a card when they do. Thankfully, no Stern Scolding. So yeah, Stern Scolding. Perfect 1-mana counter spell every time. Riptide Gamer. So Where's my Santa hat? I feel like my hair's kind of gotten back to a weird length. It's at a good length for like a week. Keeping it going though. Next up, Bobble, which means that if they have an Unholy Heat, Delirium is online. I do need to think about if I would draw a card here, if I want to keep just all foods in play, then I can go Sweet Revenge into 6 mana. But I don't really have anything to do with that mana. So probably should draw a card if given the if they obviously if they just don't have a removal spell. They've already used 2. That would be really ideal. Okay, we've decided to draw the card. Let's draw the card into another Took. So now we get to go Sweet's Revenge into Took and discard the other card we draw to make 2 foods potentially. If I draw like, ooh. If I draw that, probably won't want to discard that for a food. But I guess I can go Finale for Asmo. Grab a cookbook. Kill the Channeler main phase if like those surveils matter a lot. And then probably not play the second cookbook yet. I'm not convinced that I won't discard it to the other one, but I might. I might not. I would like to not. I'd like to find an Ovalchase at some point. Got 2 cards in their hand. Alright, kind of glad that Asmo's eating that bolt, I guess. Maybe the last card's another 1-for-1, but if that's the case, then they're out of cards here. Wow. Well, that's maybe the best draw. I'm not sure that I have any better draws than that one here. I'm gonna main phase discard this, I suppose. Damn. Could try to play around that a little bit. I think it's probably fine not to, especially because we can like sack one of these cookbooks to get back a Took. But they've got no cards in their hand, and we've got our engine going on. We're pretty okay. Hopefully they don't top deck Expressive Iteration. Yeah, just a Channeler. Another cookbook. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Return a Took. Zab with the 9 months. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I do also love this deck. Kind of surprised it took me so long to circle back to it, but it seems like so much better with the Bean Fury ban. Okay, so 2 mana available. Gonna just draw 1 card right now. Then to another cookbook into at least 1 more card. And it's nice that we have, 4 mini partings, 4 Gilded Geese, 4 Underworld Cookbook. That when we're doing this, it's like pretty likely that you hit another like 1 mana make a food cards that let you keep going. Like here, mini partings, just 1 mana, 2 foods. It's like plus 3 mana basically, since we get 2 Mox Emeralds and the forest. 4 mana floating. And then we're done here, but we get to make 2 more foods and play a forest and pass. Pretty good turn. Zab with the 9, Mulamar with the 3. Thank y'all. Okay. Channeler into Iteration is pretty good. A couple draws. They don't have many removal spells left in the deck. They've already used 5. There are only 3 more cards in their deck that can kill the Took. But, they did also just keep a card on top, so maybe they found one. But even if they do, we can, just kind of do the same thing. Then they found a lightning bolt. And they found a lightning bolt. Got a lot of good top decks. If we brick, we still have, the same thing we did last turn. But ideally, I'd like to keep my cookbooks in play. Hopefully they didn't, also find, a counterspell. As I draw another Ovalchase Daredevil. wonder if it's... How many cookbooks do I have left? I guess I only have... I have one left in the deck. I guess it's going to be better for me to cookbook back in Asmo here. Where that last cookbook can also be... it can also be a... Took. Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance we cast some Ovalchase Daredevils this game, of course. Iteration in the Lightning Bolt counterspell. Fuck off, Murktide. Fuck off. You just get them down to Hellbent, and they just iteration into the right 2 for 1/1s. Keeps the card on top with Channeler. We tried Inti in the past. I feel like it wasn't necessarily correct. Into Murktide. When opponent casts spells. When opponent like draws perfectly. Is this not fair to say? Like really like nothing short of iteration into the 2 right answers there is like gonna stabilize them here. Alright. We're also still doing fine, but kinda. I don't know. You just please don't keep me complaining. Thank you. Always funny, like the fetch one looks like a brick in this spot, but worst case scenario, we're gaining life here. All right, and now y'all can laugh at me for me drawing super well to get out of this after complaining. Alright, so we'll still sack this extra clue here before we kill their board. You have to lose all of our foods to do this, but it seems fine. Can't quite also cast a Daredevil, 1 mana short. Takes you 13 months. Thank you, welcome back. Yeah, let's see if they have another iteration here, but even like iteration into 2 perfects isn't enough at this point. Nice. I guess this is around the point where I usually stop discarding the Daredevils because it's too many triggers. I can't remember the heuristic. I think we just have plenty of mana to sack clues instead. But I can't exactly remember my heuristics for sacking clues versus foods in these spots. I'm also maybe supposed to sack a clue here in case I draw another Manufactor. Then, oh, I didn't think I clicked on that. Whatever. Okay, so second Took isn't helpful. Alright, so Finale for Goose. So I have 8 mana right now. And I have how many foods? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 foods. So let's just sacrifice a Sweet's Revenge and then see if that's enough. If they have a removal spell, we'll just win next turn. Okay. Close game. We were the ones that drew better in the end, huh? I think I usually just like run it back in this matchup, right? So sometimes I bring in one Nihil Spellbomb and then realize I just don't really care about that, like fighting them on that the axis at all. Although like turning out their heats into only 2 damage is a really big deal, since we have so many 3 toughness cards. Okay, I guess I'm down for 1 Spellbomb. Maybe over a Steelseeker, probably over a 3-drop or a Daredevil. Let's cut a Took. Oh yeah, a Needle for EE. Thank you. Pretty mandatory. Could cut a Sweet's Revenge. The card's just so important. Cut a mini partings. Don't usually like to cut mini partings. Just trim a Steelseeker. Like trimming the threats is okay. Although Steelseeker could be better because it's 2 mana. Okay, let's mulligan this. Opponent's thinking about their 7 still. Cut a Goose on the draw. The thing about Goose is like I'm really happy if it lives, and I'm also happy if they bolt it. Like there's almost like no situation where my opponent deals with the Goose and I'm not like, happy enough. What's on a bolt of 5? Is deck getting new cards recently? I mean from the Eldraine set at least. We were thinking about we had a build of this deck with Inti. It was okay, but I think Inti is a little bit worse than Steelseeker, Manufactor, or Took. Could be still maybe better than Steelseeker, but I don't think it is. So there's a chatter who had a suggestion for playing Strike It Rich in this deck, and I'm just trying to think about like Strike It Rich is probably in the deck over Mini Partings or Steelseeker, and thinking that that's a card we might have in this spot. I'm thinking about what would it be like here. It would be pretty bad here for what it's worth. So I'm not sure that I'm sold on it, but it is an interesting piece. Is Unbound Flourishing viable to be built around a modern? Let me read it. I wouldn't recommend it. There's kind of like, there's so many of these 3 mana enchantments that you like could build a deck around that don't impact the game by themselves and require a lot of setup and are really disruptible and kind of require your deck to be like weak without them in play. And there's a lot of answers to them. A lot of weaknesses with these kind of cards. Alright, stick Finale, so this way we can go next turn Steelseeker into Cookbook or Steelseeker mini partings. I love the Finale. Like X equals 2 is just always like feels like such a strong 2-for-1, where you put Asmoon to play without having to discard a card. Kind of nice to draw a different land so that I can Gingerbread Cabin next turn when I play the Took. Or on turn 4 when I play the Took. My opponent puts explosives into the graveyard. Guess that's fine. I'm not sure if I'm going to take a hit from Ragavan and like stick to the plan of Steel Seeking this turn. Let's see what we draw. Urza Saga. Feels like I would like to stick to the plan here. Commit to taking a single hit from this Ragavan. Make sure I can get this cookbook resolved. Yeah, Finale's too good to put back, I think. Although I guess if they, never mind. It's we also just have to put like a card on top that's not helpful to them, so it's also fine to keep on top for Ragavan. Good trade, but I think I don't want to. Steelseeker is just so good. Playing a Murktide this turn. So they don't have a removal spell because they would have probably used that first to make the Murktide a little bit bigger. I don't think we cared that much about this in this spot. We'd like to draw that card also. I guess I should probably lead on mini partings actually, because I don't want to like scry a card to the top and like shuffle it away. Alright, so 2 food, 2 surveil triggers, Saga into the hand, Knight of Sweet Revenge. Let's go ahead and keep that one on top. And then, yeah, just do this. So I guess if they have a counterspell for my Sweet's Revenge next turn, we're kind of in trouble. Pretty good against, you know, any creature, any non-counterspell in hand. And I feel like if they had a counterspell this last turn, they probably should have countered the Took. You can Sweet's Revenge this turn. That card costs 4 mana, and I have 0 mana at the moment. Preordain can maybe help them dig for a counterspell, though. Any thoughts to add Mike into the guard as the sideboard help against Blood Moons? I don't know how that card helps against Blood Moon, since it like gets shut off by Blood Moon. Not usually very scared of Blood Moon in this deck, though. Like you can still cast all of your spells. Like Blood Moon is just 3 mana turn off Urza Saga. So they keep 2 cards on top here. If they had counterspell, they should 100% hold it for Asmoranomardicadaistinaculdacar. I strongly disagree. I think this Took is representing like 2-3 cards over the course of the next turn, which can overwhelm your counterspell. Okay, not going to draw in response. I think I'm going to block the Ragavan because I need this Knight of Sweet's Revenge. Then do a Bolt, but I think that their last card is not a counterspell. And that they preordained into this. So I feel like my Knight of Sweet's Revenge is likely to resolve here. Could be wrong. We don't have 2 or 3 turns. We have 2 turns. We have 2 turns, like, almost for sure. I could be wrong, but they could have your attitude for sure. But to say it's 100% at least feels kind of wrong. Okay, so I guess the problem here is we don't have any black mana for this Asmo. If we did, things would be kind of easy. We also kind of bricked on our draw step. So how much food can I sacrifice this turn? I have 7 foods, 8 mana. I can gain 9. So what happens if I sack a cookbook? I can sack a cookbook, get back a Took, make 2 food, gain 3. I guess we're just gaining life then. I guess, so I'm taking 8, so I can play around a Bolt by... yeah, I guess, yeah, I was obviously getting 3 more. Doesn't make sense to just feel like I need 1 more Mox Emerald in play. Big draw. Not a big draw. Okay, so I can, again, gain like 9 life up to 13. But I can also make a big construct. Alternatively, I can sack one of my 2 cookbooks, get a Took back. I can draw at least 2 cards and try to combo off. I think at this point, I mean, no, I think my opponent's last card is like explosives or like land. That's not useful. I think it's not a helpful card. No, we can't get Asmo. We can't cast Asmo. We have all non. Could be a counterspell. I don't think it is. I guess I think it would have been they would have cast it already because they just drew Channeler for turn. They just cast it. They didn't have counterspell the turn before. They kind of can't be it. No, Cookbook only returns creatures. You can't return any card. I also don't have a Shadow Spear in the deck. Or I don't have a Shadow Spear in the deck. But I mean the token is like close to one-shotting them. I also get a third Cookbook next turn. So I'm gonna stick to this line that feels like the safer line. Could have a Dress Down as a last card too, I guess. That would be tough. The card stuck in hand is something conditioned like a Spell Snare. Yeah, I like Spell Snare, Engineered Explosives, Land. I think I Spell Pierce. All of these cards feel like they could be the card. Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty close to one-shotting them with the token. 2 Saga for 1 guard and something else is the idea. I think you're just kind of lost in the sauce. I don't think it really makes a lot of sense. Copying Cookbook is like seems like an okay idea, but it seems very slow and seems like your mana gets a lot worse and you have a lot of like green 1-mana spells and you're just play the Urza Sagas and I wouldn't care too much if they Blood Moon you. Shocks and Steam Vents to play another Murktide. I kind of think that this was the other card. Could have been another Murktide, I guess, this whole time. Could it be Otawara that they have? I think it's Murktide, and they're like trying to figure out, like, do I use the treasure token so I don't turn off Delirium? And I think that's correct. Subtlety. I mean, they wouldn't be just main phasing, considering main phasing casting Subtlety, right? Are we playing the Saxby's Revenge token 1 pump shot? Well, now they have a blocker. So we're probably not making a second token. We get another Cookbook in play, which is nice. If we can just draw a like Black Source, we also get to cast Asmo instead. We get mocked and draw an Asmo instead. Okay, so now we're gonna go for Took return. They missed lethal by selling 2 things. No, because they would have turned off Delirium. So you wanna? I guess I can't cast a. I'm gonna just go to sec now, but we can't cast a Manufactor if we drew it immediately. We can cast that. We have to gain life though. So we go Daredevil. I have 1 more Cookbook in my deck, right? No drum. Yeah, I'm not playing a drum. Obviously, like these situations can't happen. And I don't know what I would cut for the drum. We also could have fetched black mana earlier. And oh no, I didn't give my life yet. That's a punt. Fuck. Well, turning a win into a loss, I guess. Play the Force Steelseeker on the play. Maybe it wasn't a kill though, because like I go down to 1, and then I have I think only 5 foods. Maybe it was still dead. Just after mentioning it, yeah. I think I didn't have enough food to kill other creatures though. Was I really beating 4 lethal attackers? I'm not sure. I maybe was able to kill 2 things and then gain 3 up to 4 and still be dead. Well, I'm not gonna mulligan double finale on the play. I'll get a Overgrown Tomb this time. The mercs for less than 6. I know that, but I think I could only make 5 total food. Okay, opponent is thinking about their 7. You gain 3, go to 5. I was at 2, right? So gain 3, go to 5. Shock down 2. Wait, was that 1 or 2? I guess I was at 2. Yeah, so I think it was exactly enough then, where I would be at 4 and with them having just 1 channeler in play. No, they would still have 2 channelers. Right on time, Gilded Goose. Okay, so them pausing there on the Spell Snare Kind of makes me think they also have Spell Pierce, which is a big fucking problem. Insane that you're not running Shadow Spirit in 75. What's the reasoning? You could play it in the sideboard. I thought it was like mostly just important for scam. It's just like you're not really like a big creature deck besides like your Urza Saga token. Shadow Spear is pretty bad to draw. In a lot of ways, you're a combo deck too. I mean, my opponent's also taking a long time on all their decisions. I think I'm gonna still finale here. Okay. Just imagine the Spell Pierce. We need to draw land. We only need to draw one. They don't have a bolt in their hand. I'm assuming. Maybe they have like an engineered explosives. I'm also, of course, just still non-stop overthinking their hands when they're just playing so slow. Okay, let's attack with Asmo and I think just play 2 Gilded Geese. Again, always pretty happy to just trade a Geese for a 1-mana removal spell. Get a food token. Pretty good exchange for you. They also, like, you know, only spent 1 of their 3 mana last turn. That's tempo, baby. I feel like if I play mini partings after Steelseeker, there's a chance they counter it. I think if I play it first, there's like a very low chance they counter this. I'm hoping at least. So cast the Steelseeker. Maybe they'll counter the cookbook. I think at this point I'd be okay trading this for a counterspell. They snap off the counterspell. And heat the Steelseeker. Top deck Bolt. Ragavan maybe? Explosives. Shredder, Ragavan. Okay, so let's not do anything yet. A lot of good draws here. Nice, obviously, to just have the Asmo in play that can kill these. And it's nice that also like fetch lands off the top here. Give me Gingerbread Cabin, 2 foods with the Took potentially. Draw Gilded Goose. Guess the Goose in play is really nice with Knight of Sweet's Revenge. So I think I'm gonna cast Knight of Sweet's Revenge, get a food token, float 2 mana, kill the Shredder, cast the Goose, pass. Leave this back to check the Ragavan, I guess. So looks like they're slamming a Murktide. You don't really have to worry very much about here. I guess one problem is if I just draw a brick, then I can't go Took and to double activate the Goose. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I feel like if I don't make the food with the geese this turn, it's kind of a punt. So I make a food. I have 2 mana after. Let's just pass. I can take 8. Could also chump block with a Goose, but I think my life total is just easily high enough to take 8. You can Took and tap both Geese to make food once. Oh, I can go Took. You're right. I can go Took, tap food for mana, sack food for mana. That was the line. This line is better against like the last card being a counterspell, which it is, I think, a lot more likely to be a counterspell or like a subtlety. If I guess subtlety wouldn't have mattered last turn, but if they're not main phasing their Islet for no reason. I guess if they draw a removal spell off this bolt. No. Oh, I guess we just have Finale, though. Never mind. That would have been... pretty brutal if we didn't have this. Guess I don't need to kill it yet, right? Yeah, wait a second. Top deck Tidebinder. Yeah, Tidebinder's a card I'm still not that used to playing around, but you're right. I probably should have played around it. This is no. We have 4 Ovalchases. I did trim 1 copy, but yeah, we have 4 Ovalchases in the deck. Hard to feel like that's wrong to keep on top here. The insight on the Tron versus Yogg matchup. I think historically Tron has been pretty favored. The Cauldron plus Fulminator plan does make it a lot better for Yogg, so maybe it's a lot closer than it's been. I remember I was playtesting as Tron versus Yogg for the PT a bunch, and I just like every game I just drew both my Boseijus, like 5 games in a row or something. Before I combo with Yogg was pretty funny. Okay, explosives on 0. And then they're not sacking now because they want to be able to get multiple food tokens, I guess. I'm just trying to think if I would want to turn. Yeah, I think I'll just turn this into a Mox Emerald, or we'll see. We'll see when they go for the sacrifice. But I'm not too bothered if they. Basically, anytime they pop this, I think we'll be okay. Let's graveyard this. I feel like I want to be digging for like a Gingerbread Cabin here with this engine going. We get so many looks. It feels kind of a waste to like keep it on top and not really get any of these looks. You know what I mean? So graveyard this. There's the Gingerbread Cabin. Okay, we'll keep that. So let's just go. Draw our card. This way we get to keep surveilling. Play the cabin. Yeah, every match this is like our 4th match of the day, and we're like almost 3 hours into the stream. Every opponent's like down to 2 minutes on their clock. I think we're like 4 for 4 for opponents getting down this low. Okay, I usually like to keep these. Oops. We also have the geese activations too, which are mana neutral plus million triggers. Seems okay to keep that also. But it's also just not F6'd on this turn. Like they're gonna time out on my combo turn. Which is not a super common thing. So keep that. Yeah, I guess I just at this point pass the turn. I can double goose activation at some point. See if they pop the explosives now or whenever they feel like it. If they eat in response to Knight's activation, that stops it. Yeah, it does stop the overrun effect. Oh, damn it. I accidentally put stuff in... Oh, there's an Ovalchase Daredevil. I accidentally put stuff in the graveyard all the time. It actually ended up working out okay, though. Because it just says, choose this. I'm like, yes, I'll choose this to stay on top. So eventually we'll find a finale that will win even through the explosives. If their plan is to hold it up in response to a Night of Sweets activation, they're also gonna time out. We have 5 minutes. They have 1 minute. It's kind of over actually, but we're also winning this game the fair way anyways. If it came that long. Okay, maybe they can figure out how to F6. The fact that they've just also given me an extra 8 mana by not popping the explosives yet, it's probably fun. Like, they don't think they have like a good line or anything. Okay, so keep that on top. Draw it. I guess I don't think I'm gonna have to worry too much about like lagging and timing out. Should be, assuming I have more finales in deck. I'm actually seeing that we have 3 in the yard already. I guess I could have also kept that and like sacked Night of Sweet's Revenge and just played a second copy. Maybe there's no finales left. Yeah, okay. So maybe we need to be a little worried. Okay. Engineered explosives as they're just F6'd. A long match. Yeah, they had F6 there. It's fine. Yeah, Sweet Revenge is really good. It's like surprisingly, it's just surprisingly good. You can type exclamation point deck. But it's on a mold of 6. Well, maybe they'll just belcher me. Yeah, in paper it's nice. You can just say I'm not going to use the Steelseeker triggers. And in Magic Online it's kind of a pain. Okay, Saga Triumph. Yeah, I'm going to sandbag the mini partings. Got plenty of mana here. Okay, 1.5 minutes to play 2 lands and hold up a counterspell. Fucking shit, dude. Fine. Fine. Not holding up counterspell. Yeah, what time well spent. Will we have any match today that's under 30 minutes? Probably not. Although we do have an opponent that actually respects Steelseeker. You'd love to see that. What are the chances that I forget to play around Shadow of Doubt at some point this match also? A bit awkward that I can't make 2 tokens and mini partings. Obviously against control, making 2 tokens game 1 is pretty nice before they get to board and dress downs. Although maybe my opponent's main deck can dress down. Yeah, I'm down to just make another token, get a cookbook, just play the slow game. Won't they sideboard out Shadow of Doubts? They shouldn't. I'm a Finale of Devastation, Asmo, mini partings, fetch land deck. I would love if they sided out the Shadow of Doubts. It's kind of hard for that card to not be just like super cryptic command against me. No main deck Needle? Nope. This is a very synergistic like combo build of food. It's just hard to play like generic Saga targets like Needle. Not playing Drum hurting again. I'm still getting a cookbook there if I have Drum in my deck, I think. That's true. This is kind of scary against a fairy. So I'm assuming they're not going to counter my cookbook. They're not countering my Asmo. I'm going to Solitude my token. Don't know that I'm going to kill the Solitude with Asmo right now. They get to gain 6. I do kind of have plenty of food. I also got Tooks. I should probably kill it. I'm gonna do it at some point anyways, so I'll do it now before they gain 3 more life and deal me 3. Main phase Memory Deluge. Best case scenario is we draw Gingerbread. They tap out to kill my Asmo with like pending, and we draw Gingerbread Cabin. Okay. I mean, at the very least, them tapping out is sick. Yeah, not quite lucky enough to also draw Gingerbread Cabin here, I guess. I think I would have Took instead of Manufactor because I have 2 Tooks, and then I also get to like likely hit my land drop here. Pretty good land drop. I think, yeah, I guess I'm not basically ever playing Gingerbread Cabin over Saga at this turn. But I could draw another cookbook, so I think it's probably fine to just draw the extra card there. Thanks, Todd. It's another pending, maybe? No, main phase Solitude. Take that. Especially with what looks like them to be tapped out of counterspell mana for my Knight of Sweet's Revenge. They do have a binding available. So I feel like I should be making at least, because I want to cast Steelseeker and to make a food, cast Goose. Maybe find Gingerbread Cabin this turn, maybe not. Oh shit! I just cast a Steelseeker. What's wrong with me? Okay, never mind. Just too far ahead. Graveyard another Took. We'll see next turn if I could hit my land drop this turn or not. But we're also so ahead, it seems like it's going to be tough to lose this one. The fact they didn't have another binding was a pretty big deal. Although now they can bounce the binding. Instead they bounced the Knight of Sweet's Revenge, which we'll take. We'll also take this 3 from the Solitude. Image 3 really needs Pernicious Deed. I think Pernicious Deed probably will see close to 0 play. right? Kind of hard to imagine that card is good. Seems so incredibly slow and dies to a lot of things. Like if you tap out for it, just gets like mited and binding into Fairied. Okay. Counter target spell. So let's try to find our land off the Steelseeker to maybe play another 3-drop. Ideally, that would be Gingerbread Cabin, which it is. Yeah, I think I would rather. Well, yeah. Let's play the Took. This is gonna allow me to draw the Manufactor immediately. Surveil a lot more. Set up to next turn where I just kind of have everything. Fourth Daredevil. Don't mind keeping a goose. No Took before making food. Took cost 3, I had 2. So I needed to use the food to find the land. Okay, your turn. Yeah, 3 cards in their hand over there. I guess I could have drawn the goose off the Took and use the surveil triggers more. It's kind of tough in these spots to like balance between like maximizing your value and making sure like you still have enough resources in your deck to kill your opponent. Yeah, here I think I just have enough cards that I'm going to leave all my foods in play. So let's bait a counterspell on Finale. It seems like they're maybe like overvaluing this part of the deck's game plan a little. They almost took the bait. Is Disciple of Vault good choice for damage? So what's nice about this deck, finishing the game isn't an issue. Obviously we're playing against control, so it's going to take some time, but you just kill them with Finale and Night of Sweet Revenge. What I really like about this deck is this deck doesn't play any like cards like Time Sieve or Disciple of the Vault. Any cards that are like only good when you have your engine going, and only good when like you're going to win the game almost certainly anyways. Every card is like individually its own good piece of power for the deck, and then combined even more powerful. I think I played Goose Food or Cookbook instead of Goose. Actually, probably should not have kept that one, although we will be able to get rid of it. They're also down to only 2 cards. Is there a reason to not play 1 to get the card around the ring? Yeah, the reason to not play 1 is after you put Disciple of the Vault in your deck, you could draw it, and then it could be a bad card in your hand. That's the problem with putting in your deck is occasionally you'll draw it. And it's not a card that I want to like. If I want to take a card from the top of my library and put it into my hand, I'm not going to be very happy if that card is Disciple of the Vault most of the time. So, yeah, should have got rid of this last time. Just do it now. So, do I need to upkeep? Look for something if I don't find something here? I think so. It's just really important that I have 2 impactful spells here. Just all. I guess I do have the cookbook. The thing is, like, if their last card is counterspell, I really want to have a second, like Took or another Night of Sweet Revenge to jam here. Guess I have okay, there we go. Something. Although I can't actually jam it this turn if they do counter it, but can't really dump it. Like need this if they counter it, but they don't. Okay, so we have one cookbook available to us at the moment. Let's keep that on top. Oh, sorry, so 2 cookbooks and 1 after we use this. Yeah, get back the Took. Cast Took. Draw the mini partings. Cast mini partings. Probably going to win the game this turn. Okay, so no, and then before this other Steelseeker trigger resolves, draw the Manufactor. Keep that. 1, 2, 3. Draw the Finale. Cast the Manufactor. Trigger the Steelseeker. No more cookbooks in the deck. I think that one's okay to graveyard. In these spots also, you want to just not discard the Daredevil. It's just too many triggers to deal with. So don't need a second Took. Gonna put that into our hand. Don't need another one of these at this point. We will take that. Yeah, we can take that for just the cast of Gilded Goose. You only have 13 cards left in the library. I know. I'm not worried about it. We're gonna kill them. We're gonna kill them now. And by now, I mean in like 4 minutes after I click through everything. Yeah, in paper it's really nice because like these Steelseeker triggers, you just say, "I'm no thanks to all of them." It takes 1 second instead of like 30. I guess like winning the game through Magic Online lag maybe will be problematic. It's like I still need to make more food also. Game 1. Timeout for first time in a long time maybe. But not this game. We're gonna have to play next games faster. Maybe I could have also already won with Finale. I feel like I needed more foods. I should. It's like it's tough between like wasting time counting and like losing a lot of minutes that way versus just like doing it until it seems like it's enough. Also, the deck was not as laggy last time we played it. I feel like we could kill this with Asmo, but we also kind of need the Steelseeker in play to like just like quickly Finale X equals 10. Quickly is kind of funny. Yeah, and here the thing is like we're also still. Okay, we can beat a counter spell, I guess, but like we just like if they counter, we can't really even think that it's likely they have that. All right, so this is I just need to X equals 10 this. No, I need to do more than that. I need to do like 12. Okay, let's grab Manufactor or something that won't trigger the stuff. Okay, and they concede. Long game 1. Every match super long, but at least we're not losing them. Or at least lost some of them. Yeah, just another day at the office here. I want at least the Mites. Although they're probably not playing the Ring in their deck. I can play 1 Might, 1 Force, -2 Ovalchase. Yeah, I agree. I think just this deck I think is legitimately easier to play in paper. Yeah, but it's Magic Online. It's gonna be so slow. Once you memorize your formulas, you're just like ticking dice up. You can also just like explain to your opponent how they're gonna die. So that's what they concede to. Yeah, I mean conceding to the lethal spell I think is pretty reasonable. Yeah, once you have your formula chart memorized, you're good to go. Is there world with like 1/2 cauldrons? I think the main deck is like pretty solved, to be honest. I'm very far away from like wanting to change any cards in the main deck. 1/2 trophy against they have Rip. I mean, I brought in a Force. You don't even care about Rip really. I'm boarding out Ovalchase Daredevils. I'm like actively happy if they cast and draw Rest in Peace. It's really good if we draw a green source. I'm gonna mulligan. Another one lander. I think saying has colored mana on the draw. We'll keep. I think we put back the 4-drop on the one lander. We have a lot of mana sources in the deck with 4 mini partings and 4 geese and all that good stuff. I decided to board out first. Second Daredevil, usually the first one to go. Well, in these kind of matchups, they go really long, and your opponents also don't have like a lot of creatures for you to kill with Asmo. I don't mind trimming some Daredevils. It just kind of depends. Sometimes, like against Murktide, I didn't cut the Daredevils. I cut threats. Well, I got my wish that they drew Rest in Peace, although this time I did have the Daredevil. Let's see what we draw. Okay. Save the finale. Play Asmo plus Cookbook. Nice to rip the land off the top. No complaints here. Okay, 4 cards in their hand. Land would be obviously really nice. Kind of feel like be dirty to draw back-to-back lands after keeping one lander. But another strong 2-for-1. Yeah, we've played Inti in this deck. At the moment, I'm not really thinking Inti is better than any other cards here. I think it's almost as good as Steelseeker, not quite as good as Steelseeker. There's a lot of cards in this deck, like the front half of Cookbook, front half of Gilded Goose, mini partings, Manufactor, that Saga tokens that trigger Steelseeker that don't trigger Inti. And Steelseeker is also a lot easier on the mana. So yeah, I just like we did play it before. But again, at the time of making this comment, I'm not of the opinion that Inti is better than any other card in the deck. Okay, your turn. Okay, hear it in their hand. Just gonna slam the Manufactor. Resolved. Let's discard a Cookbook first, I think. Solitude the Manufactor. So do I want to discard Gilded Goose here? I think yes. Could have been maybe better to just pass. But I wanted to like discard and then cast the goose, so I think it felt okay about that, I guess. 2 cards in their hand. They have another Solitude, it looks like. So they'll be down to just 1 card in their hand. Well, Asmo the Solitude. Then let's sack our clue. See if we find something that we don't mind discarding. So I think that qualifies. Although, actually, I guess now I would just rather cast the Steelseeker, not discard anything. And then I can like finale for Manufactor or Took next turn. Probably Manufactor. Because with the Steelseeker in play, we get that first Surveil, which could like put a land into my hand like that I could want to discard, and then I get extra. I get 3 Surveil triggers instead of 1, or these aren't really surveils, whatever you call them, Steelseeker triggers, I guess they are unique. Opponent's pausing in a very similar way that they did before. I think despite the fact that I did draw what I wanted to draw, a card to discard, I'm just gonna pass and then kind of make it awkward for my opponent to use their removal spell. Obviously they could maybe just not have a removal spell. Yeah, Cabin would have been really nice to kind of like make the first move also. So I would really like to find a land to discard a second thing and keep all this going. So now that that's on top, I think we just let this happen, and then we can go Manufactor into fetch a cabin. And I can Finale X equals 2. I think I'm probably just saving the Finale. They have a dress down. Okay, so let me go ahead and draw a card here. Another cookbook. Okay, just pass to you then. I don't want to discard the cookbook in like my end step or anything. Yeah, Rest in Peace is not really a big problem for you. You can really mostly just ignore that it's there. I mean, it did stop by, it's also kind of awkward in their Deluge deck. It's like a good card for them to draw. Prismatic in there. We'll let this happen. I want to be able to just Finale for a Took here. Assuming I have more Tooks in the deck. Okay, I do. Okay, so Finale X equals 3. Search library, no graveyard to speak of. Yes, I'll have 3 Tooks. Fetch another cabin. We have 6 foods right now, which are worth at least 2 cards, but likely going to chain this into at least a 3rd card. Okay, it's a good card. Can't cast it yet. I think we'll just pass at this point. Maybe I was wrong to like not leave this other cookbook to discard. 3 cards in their hand. One of them is a Supreme Verdict. Okay, yeah, maybe I should have discarded so I could just draw one more. It's kind of tough to figure that out. I have a treasure token, so I can cast this first. But they have another counter spell. Blue-white snooze fest. Okay, your turn. There's a lot of interaction, huh? Maybe we'll draw an Urza Saga now that they've used just down double verdict. Remember when I got shadowed out of this match like 30 minutes ago? Every match has been so long today. Okay, let's sandbag the Steelseeker until we can actually trigger it, I guess. Recipe was pretty relevant this game, to be fair. Fuse, Wear Tear, brutal. I think I have one more cookbook. No, I don't have any more cookbooks. Okay, we'll just pass, I think, still. So much control today. This is literally the only... We played against 4 color also, I guess, but... Well, they're just running out Solitude? That's so greedy. I mean, that also means their last card is good, though. Yeah, that would be done. Okay, down to 10, they're up to 20. Just trying to play as fast as I can, so if we lose, we're not just toast for game 3. The end of turn dress down. It's also a spew, I think. I'm also like 35 cards deep. Haven't drawn a single Urza Saga yet. Probably should have attacked them. It was actually still good to discard Goose, cast Asmo. Can we even win from the spot? I think we're ahead at the moment. Despite my... I mean, maybe it depends on how good this card my opponent top decked was. I still have 4 Urza Saga in the deck. I'm not even sure. I guess I'll kill the Solitude, but I'm not even sure you should, since like my Saga tokens are going to be so big. So lucky. 37 cards in, found a Saga. We have a Force of Vigor to draw into. Although at this point, with both of our Ovalchase Daredevils gone, it doesn't even like matter that we don't have a graveyard. We also may catch up on time. Main phase drill 2. They've already used 2 dress downs and 2 verdicts also. The Saga is like maybe just gonna solo them. Yeah, I have a Steelseeker under the binding. Okay, save that for Cookbook. Just get in for 3 this turn. Yeah, I think I'm gonna catch up on time. Don't have any more. Oh, wait, I have a Haywire Mite I can get. And before it draws Haywire Mite for turn. Not quite that unlucky. Ah, we've had 2 dress downs, yes, but what about 3rd dress down? Yeah, so I was thinking if they couldn't Solitude, and if they had Binding, we have Haywire Mite for Binding. B playing the Took out is kind of bad against them having like specifically double Binding. I think I want to Mite on my turn so I can poke the Teferi for 1, and then I'll have like for sure discarded a card for Asmo. What in the world could this be? Oh. Cool line. 3rd Verdict. So I have 3 more Sagas in the deck that they gotta be good at this point. They gotta be good. I don't have anything to search off them, I guess. I guess I draw another card. Yeah, very lucky to draw another Saga. Let's save the mini partings for Manufactor / Took. Okay, your turn. Your turn. Go. Go. They're gonna get to minus the Teferi again. Okay, so we did draw the Manufactor. How many Solitudes are gone? Only 2? How can that... it feels like there's... Oh, there's 3. There's 3. And the Kihira. Yeah, truly one of the games of all time. We are slowly catching up on time. They return my Steelseeker to me so that they can binding a token. I have 15 cards left in my deck. I'm gonna keep that card. They've used 3 dress downs and 3 verdicts. I would be kind of surprised if they had more, but you know, you truly never know with the control players. I still have 2 Urza Sagas in the deck, but beyond that I don't have that much. Okay, they have a counter spell. I'm gonna discard this. You know, I have 2 in 13 chance of just putting another Saga into play right now. I guess. Yeah, I guess. They're just combining a token though, but it's kind of tough to put back any like action spell like that at this point in the game when I only have 13 cards left and we're both top decking. Does feel like if I can't close this one out, winning the match will be pretty tough. I'm gonna kill the other binding instead of the Rest in Peace. The Rest in Peace doesn't do anything at this point, and this is good if they draw another Teferi. They Otawara their binding. Cool play. Ding. Still have one more Saga after this one too. I'm just gonna draw my card so I can have 6. I have 9 cards in my deck. So it draws another spell, but thankfully it's just second Rest in Peace. Did I win the game? I can't make enough foods to win the game this turn probably with only 8 cards in my deck. Yeah, I think I'm no longer to pretend like we have a game 3 that we can play. Graveyard Goose. I'm gonna graveyard that too, but no more. Discard this so we can cast the Asmo. I would really like to find the other Saga, but I'm not going to graveyard any card. I'll put this into my hand. Now we only have 3. Now we only have 3 cards. Maybe this was too much. I think it's fine. Because we also have like the Sweet's Revenge. And like we can't really expect them to like very likely have another sweeper. I also have a Finale in the deck, which I can X equals 10. Huge. How many charms do they have left? Well, I don't really expect that they're playing 4 Archmage's charms, but I think we've only seen them cast 1. Cast 2, 3. We've seen them cast 3. Okay, they're playing 4. Opponent says GG's. If you say so. If you say so. Back second Asmo. I think I lead on Goose. GG's straight, GG's. Long match. Our matches have been so long today. Citadel on blue, cool. I want to see how their list is. I've been kind of stuck on like combining the Enigma Jewel Tron deck with Sunken Citadel. So many action. Actually, we're really like probably awful list to show y'all, but it's like at least it's a list, right? I'll pull it up. I think it's a deck that will never make it out of like the draft phase. I spent a long time on it yesterday. Okay, so I was trying to Sunken Citadel, whatever. Mono blue. Citadel goes into Nykthos, Saga, also Otawara Hall. Enigma Jewel also goes into Nykthos, Citadel, Otawara Hall. Enigma Jewel goes into Brainstone, goes into Expedition Map. And then you have here Counterbalance, which is providing you Devotion for your Nykthoses and you can Enigma Jewel your Brainstones to set up for your counterbalance. You also have Omen of the Sea to set up for your counterbalances too. But you also like aren't really playing to the board at all, and I don't know. The deck was like certainly very sick, but also again looked pretty bad. One of these like very cool will probably never get out of the draft phase. Yeah, I don't think we're back, but I don't know. Maybe like as a fun of like at some point. Oh, this is just coffers. I thought for maybe they'd be on something spicier. Maybe they are. They're playing a stone. I don't know. I guess that's still just maybe in their deck, huh? Oh fuck! I was thinking I could tap this and then still get Gingerbread Cabin. Huge punt though. I needed to get Cabin off of this, obviously. I was thinking I could just sandbag this for future Cabin. They also Citadel'd on blue as a bluff. That's kind of sick. Whereas Cycle Bird, I thought you could play it. I feel like it was kind of awkward. It doesn't provide you a lot of devotion. Like Typhoon's at least like still a win con. Academy Ruins putting a card on top for counterbalance is sick. It is true. They grab a Cityscape Leveler. Getting carned pretty hard. They have Urborg in play, so I don't feel like I need to not just fetch basic forest. I guess the demolition fields maybe is the reason. I'm gonna shuffle that away. Probably should have played the second Steelseeker first, but it's not really gonna matter. Yeah, it's Layered Academy, like in your Sunken Citadel deck, put Brainstone on top. That sounds pretty. Maybe that's exactly what we need. No chance. Okay, let's keep that on top. And then we'll put the Karn down to 2, hopefully. And if all they have is Cityscape Leveler next turn, we do get to kill the Karn with our attack. Although they can also make stone a creature. Have I played a game with the counterbalance deck? I haven't. Maybe, I don't know. It just looks so bad. It looks very sweet, though. I do feel like a Academy Ruins as a map target is fine, where you get to start like looping Brainstone. Maybe play one less Brainstone for it, although 25 lands plus 4 maps is probably just need to go down a land. Although only 11 blue sources is tough. That's okay. We'll figure it out later. The NT Copter Prowess Pioneer deck. I didn't think it was very good, I guess. Hollow's Helios Generosity do the same thing. Well, it only gets enchantments. Like, we're better at putting artifacts on top. We also actually can't. We have to draw Finale. So I guess I can. I guess I need to Goose and then dig for. I should have realized this is what I needed earlier. But I have like 6 looks at a Finale. Okay. Board and Baubles or Crypts to the Cascade decks. Lands would do fine. I wouldn't board and bauble for the purpose of like revealing it to counterbalance. Is it too lost in sauce to play Omniscience? I think so. I don't think like the plan of I'm going to cast this off Nykthos is a good plan. How many foods do I have? Wait, do I? Okay, search library. I only have 3 foods. I can make another one off this this goose. They're all. I feel like they're more. I also have I think it's is it the Power Stone that's like throwing me off? I guess it is. So have to make a food off the goose. Okay, I'll keep that for next turn. Which food variant do you think is good for closing the game, not going to turns at F&M? I wish I knew the answer to that one, I tell you what. I don't know. I think this one, if you know your formulas, this deck is probably like much faster in paper. Just gotta learn your formulas. Oh, that's my last basic. I guess I could keep that against a possible Thoughtseize. Yeah, in paper, Steelseeker is just like, I'm just gonna say I have 20 Steelseeker triggers. I'm gonna say no to all of them. What are the formulas? Yeah, so if you have one Took, you get 2 foods. Obviously, like I guess you do base level Manufactor Tooks. If you have 2 Manufactors, you get 3 of each. If you have one Took, one Manufactor, you get you get one treasure, 1 clue, and 3 foods. Right? I think it's 2. I guess I don't know my formulas. I just play them on Magic Online. Whatever happens, happens. I'm pretty sure it's you get 1, 1, 2, right? Does it matter which order you resolve the Manufactor token? I know on Magic Online it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It is the same number either way. Come on. They grab an explosives. They get 2 explosives on 0. What a pain. Asmo stuck again. Banking on the bricking, I guess. This matchup's pretty bad. Opponent's reading. Do you have a favorite modern era? I'd say MH2 onward has been my favorite. I don't know if it's, if you want to break that up into like, you know, companions being legal, or you know, there's a lot of little sub eras, but this has been my favorite era by a lot. No Troll Kings in this build. You don't need them to close games. The Sweet's Revenge does by itself. MH2 until Lord of the Rings. Yeah. I don't know if I like that more than, I'm just having a good time. I like to live in the present. Do you miss Unnerved Companions? Unnerved Companions were incredibly fun. It was, everybody's deck was just so broken. Is Grief still a problem with Fury Gone? It's winning tournaments and doing well still. Is it a problem? What's a problem? Who even knows? I think format's feeling pretty open at the moment. Still working on Goria. I like the Goria list. Like, had a hot run on Saturday's challenge and then cooled off and into Infect, but I think like the Splinter Twin era, Splinter Twin pod era, there's a lot of nostalgia for it. I have a lot of nostalgia for it. I have a lot of nostalgia for like the a lot of nostalgia for the like the Hiri, Jessica Nihiri deck. But I think a lot of it is like kind of like rose-colored glasses of you being, or me being like younger, and like I haven't played as much modern, and I think the games are like more interesting now, and like deck building's really interesting now, and like the dynamics are really cool now. I think they're better than they were, but the nostalgia goggles can be pretty powerful. So they do have blue in the deck. kind of odd that they're just now getting this though. Okay, so they're recasting their leveler. Let's go to game 2. Think about shopping trophy or force of this board for excavator for grinding games. I really dislike the idea with peace and love. Sounds like a bad plan. That makes little to no sense. You're already really good in the grinding games also. Yeah, I think we would go Needle and Haywire Mite for their Karn / ring. I think we do need the Mite. Don't need the Mite. Maybe just 2 Needles is fine. We go down 2 Daredevils. I think I'm gonna cut an Asmo. Jessica Control, you could run Electrolyze. Yeah, that arrow is really, really cool. I didn't get to play a lot in that era either. Yeah, Excavator mostly just like 3 mana, 2/3 dies. No Boseiju for the lands. I don't think so. Like, Boseiju's just not that good against the Coffers deck usually. It's pretty awful if my Took dies. Hard matchup to mulligan in. I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, this is the same list from the Wild season. Yeah, I didn't like the version with NT and Ren as much as this build. And I think it's just important, I think, to get like another like refresher league done with this, despite it not being as interesting, maybe. I'm gonna take the Ovalchase. Are you thinking about taking Ovalchase? Okay. So there's a good chance I like make a food this turn, and then next turn just cast Ovalchase actually, and then I can go like Manufactor into Gingerbread Cabin into Activate Goose. Oh, what the fuck? That's awesome. So the island is just for Academy Ruins? Yeah, trophies is for like Tron more so. Like their deck is really soft to Needle. Like if you just Needle Ring, Needle Karn, they can have a really hard time. And obviously like Karn being in play can still be tough, but you can also try to pressure it. I just am daydreaming about having a single opponent who is capable of taking their turn 2s in under 1 minute. Every round has just been a nail grinder. Alright, I guess now be drawing Cookbook. It's a lot less appealing to play out the Daredevil this turn. And if my opponent's next turn is just cracking the explosives, then we get to go just play Gingerbread Cabin, make 3 more tokens, start stacking clues and stuff. If they draw a land and they go crack explosives plus push, we get to complain. Or I guess if they have a land. When is this? -2 Knight, -2 Took, +2 Cauldron, +2 Bulbarigmos Enraged. It's been feeling pretty good and can kill around ring. It sounds so I don't understand Cauldron plus Bulbarigmos. Oh, Agatha Soul Cauldron. Agatha Soul Cauldron. I was thinking like Witch's Cauldron. I don't know. It seems kind of random, but like maybe good. Like, I understand wanting to be able to kill around ring. I feel like it's usually just kind of fine to, like, just set yourself up to kill them next turn. Does sound fun, but also, like, playing 2 less Took and 2 less Knight of Switch Revenge sounds pretty tough. Sweet is, like, so good. Do they have March of Wretched Sorrow? And they're thinking about pitching 2 cards versus not? Looks like that's the case. So is there anything I can draw off the clue? Yeah, no, I guess nothing that matters. Maybe I should just cast Daredevil, actually. Okay, we'll cast it next turn. I'm gonna save this. We also don't have that many lands in the deck for Bulbarigmos. Like, I know sometimes when, like, you have your whole engine going, you do draw most of them, though. They only have 2 cards in their hand. I think it's probably too cowardly to not play Manufactor into mini partings. let's also play. No, let's sack the Clue. There's just so many cards we can draw that let us do this again. Sandbag Finale. Let's sandbag the Finale. I don't want to get Asmo if they kill my Manufactor. Are you actually responsible for being banned? No, I'm not in charge of the modern ban list, despite despite what some people think. I'm responsible for nothing. I feel like I'm supposed to go Finale for Took or Manufactor. I guess Manufactor plays Night of Sweet's Revenge. I guess we're also supposed to... No, I'm going to sack it now just in case I draw the other cabinets so bad. But you're supposed to draw your card first. Just in case we draw like another Took or Manufactor first. I love mini parting so much. Oh, it's okay, it's fine. Just need to get in the habit of drawing before I make more food, because again, you want to be able to draw another Manufactor or Took in these spots. There we go. Now we get to break Magic Online. Maybe it's bad to be... I guess I should still be sacking Clues, just so I can keep my food count high, so I can try to just win with this Night of Sweet's Revenge. It's pretty apparent that they don't have removal, so I think as soon as I get... I guess I don't have enough food. Don't have enough food right now. We will have enough food soon. Too many triggers to play Steelseeker this game. Right. Is it more tokens, resolving Took or Manufactor? It's a magical line. It's the same either way, as far as I understand. Yeah, I guess one cookbook is just lethal here. Is it? I don't know, because we need this. We only have one non-summoning set creature. It's also like assuming that we get to go through our whole deck, which we we'll eventually find a Finale. We'll likely find it pretty soon, which will could also just double Sweet's Revenge, I guess. But a Finale is the I think what we're building towards. I guess we do need to make more mana again. We're also still ahead on the clock. It's either 4 or 6, depending on the order you took a Manufactor. I believe it's... At least in these spots, I'm just clicking randomly to get through this. Alright, let's... I guess we can even just... double sack. But one sack seems like enough. If they've been sandbagging your removal spell, good shit. If we just Finale for 10 at the start, we would have just killed them. I mean, we're gonna kill them anyways. I know today's been like a pain, pulling teeth. We're going to game 3 with 14 minutes on the clock. We're up on time. All right, game 3, let's go. I think this sort of deck would be playable in paper. I think the deck is like significantly easier in paper. You have to memorize your formulas, which I actually don't have memorized. I can't remember. I think you get 2 of each token when you have Took Manufactor. You just have to memorize your charts for your numbers of manufacturer's tooks. Slide the dice up instead of clicking through a million triggers. Just slide the dice up. Say out loud how much mana you have. Maybe it's just like how good at like simple addition are you, or slightly advanced addition maybe. But I don't think it's likely that bad. I've played the Troll King version in paper and felt like it was easier in paper. Cinema Joe with the Twitch Prime, thank you. Although I found like one of the biggest problems for this deck in paper is your opponents play really slowly. Your opponents play really slowly because they don't know what's going on and they're like reading all of the cards, and like you're just kind of like, I'm like always trying to get them to play a little bit faster so we can like finish the game, and they are oftentimes confused. It's like a whole thing. Don't you bring 200 tokens? No, just bring one of each token. Just bring one of each token. You'll be okay. That's the problem with any deck. Opponents play slow very often. I'm just saying that like it's going to be exacerbated with this deck. That phenomenon is exacerbated here, where they don't know how to play against you and they have to read like half the cards. I'm gonna name Karn. Land for Sweet's Revenge next turn would be... It should be in the Moxfield cinema. Tried an NT variant before. Yeah, we did. I think it's not... How did this ring take this long to cast? Yeah, I think it's not correct to play NT. You can play NT in the deck. Pretty well-timed Thoughtseize. Exactly takes the Took. It's kind of unfortunate I'm 1 mana short of being able to sack a cookbook. I think there's a chance I'm discarding this though, so let's just untap here. Yeah, that's the deck tech redemption, Simon. Pretty brutal. Can see do a Karn here. Tough. Yeah, that matchup I think is pretty bad. Okay, let's see what the matchup is. Class scene 11 dozen Skelementals. Alright, let's just do it. We're gonna do it anyways. Let's not pretend like I've gotta see all this stuff. Just, 4 fun Plowed Cleanser. I mean, like, the deck was looking good, playing good. It's also, like, old or whatever, and not as interesting.